Okay, hello, welcome back to another game of chess. Today we're playing e4 as per usual. 2-2-3-4. Wow, okay. We're going to play a Mengarini Sicilian, of course. The absolutely beautiful weapon in our holster here. They play knight c6, meaning we can play b4, and we can go for our standard Mengarini line, gambiting this b-pawn to push the knight back, and then claim the full center, basically punishing them for being so greedy as to accept this pawn. They play d5, we take, queen takes, and a beautiful, beautiful bit of preparation, knight to a3. As the general chess maxim goes, you should not be putting your knights on the edge of the board. Why? Well, in general, they have half the squares they can move to as if one was in the center. Like, for instance, if it was on e4, as you can see, it would have 8 squares to move to. Here on a3, it's only got 4. But in this very special, very tactical case, we only care about one of those squares. Knight to b5, and in fact, knight f6, by the way, is a blunder. This is preparation that I've had for about a year now, I think. Probably a little over that. The point is, the knight is held by the bishop. We are immediately threatening knight to c7, winning the queen with a fork here, so the queen is tempted, lured back to her home square. However, she has then vacated this d5 square, allowing us to push forward with the move d5. Now you might think, hold on, knight here and a queen here? This is only defended once. Surely I've just given up a pawn. I haven't, because if knight takes, we can play queen takes, a beautiful move, because if the queen recaptures, then again we have knight to c7. We've lured the queen back to that fateful d5 square, and yeah, d5 is just a really nice move here, because you cannot take it. Now, if you can't take it, what can you do? You can't counterattack my knight, because if you were to take this, I would pick up your rook for free. That is another benefit of the Mengarini. We have this beautiful open a file. We have the best rook on the board immediately. So of course, they were prompted to move the knight. Apologies for any discontinuity there. I just had some trouble with my Wi-Fi. They moved the knight to e5. Now, why is this not favourable, let's say? Well, we can play bishop to f4 here, attacking that knight, and very, very importantly, through that knight, if this knight were to move, for instance, to g6, supporting this square on c7, which of course would allow our knight again to go into c7. This knight here is unassailable because of our beautiful a-file rook, because the move a6 will not remove it, as they are not threatening to take ever. So they go back. Believe it or not, by the way, this is all preparation. Now, my move here, we're on move 11, move 12, move 12. I think it's knight f3. Yeah, we play knight to f3, and the point is that if they take, I take, and there is just no possible way to stop me going into c7 with my knight. Your dark squared bishop, that primary defender of the dark squares, it just can't move. You've invested no time in developing this kingside other than the knight that has now wryly bounced back to d7, because you invested all your time in the opening, if we scroll back here, taking a free pawn. And I'd like to ask my opponent now, do they really feel like that free pawn is doing a whole lot for them, while we have this beautiful attacking tempo here on c7? Now, the problem is as well, this is not just a fork of a rook and a king. If the knight, for instance, went to g6 now, we could play knight c7 and they would have to take with the queen. In fact, we could play bishop c7. Oh, that's nice. Threatening to take the queen, and then if they take, we could go here and then pick up the rook as well. Very interesting stuff. The point is, they would be losing their queen if this knight moves. However, if the knight doesn't move, how are you going to protect it again? Well, you can't go queen here, obviously, because the knight holds. This knight already protected it, and so as if by magic, our opponent immediately plays f6. Now, they thought about that for a while. Some of you might have been sitting there thinking, well, it's an obvious move. It's the only move that can defend this knight. Again, by the way, still prep. F6 is a really weakening move. You have to be very careful when you push a pawn in chess. Whenever you push a pawn, obviously pawns cannot move backwards. You leave an irreconcilable weakness on certain squares in the adjacent files. For instance, and most pertinently, e6 here looks so soft in fact, that we are now going to play knight to d4 to play knight e6, attack the queen, and after it moves, both of our knights will be attacking c7, and we can jump into there. It's absolutely the most beautiful position. That's what I like to see. I'm fairly sure. What can they do? What's the response here? You see, I'm very booked up until exactly this point. And now it's like, okay, in my notes, I think I've just got like, okay, black's just lost. Which black is very much just lost here. The evaluation is horrible. I'm threatening to put a knight on e6. There's actually a very famous quote by, I think, Adolf Anderson, one of the romantic era, 1830s, I'm going to say, kind of players. He said, if you get a knight firmly posted on king 6, which is exactly this square right here, you may fall asleep, your game will play itself, which is quite an amusing quote there. Now, if I go here immediately, they can take. I think... Did I make a mistake? Should I have taken the knight first? I don't think so. I think I'm still fine. I think here, knight b6. If I take, you have to take with the pawn. Then I think I have queen h5, and if g6, I can take this pawn, I hit the rook, I threaten c7 again. Guys, I love chess. The reason that f6 is also weak, which is the main reason that there's a sort of rule, never play f6. I mean, any of you who've heard of or seen any of Ben Feingold's content, a very charismatic, I'll say, grandmaster from America, he says never play f6. You are drastically weakening your king. Now, it's not such a huge problem if you've already castled. Our opponent is nowhere near to castling. They've had to dance with these knights for the whole game so far. And so, I mean, this king is extremely weak. We can exploit that, tactically speaking, by taking this knight. And after they recapture, queen to h5 check. And if you go g6 blocking that check, normally this check would not be a problem because obviously there'd be a pawn there. However, they've pushed that pawn. We can then take on e5, attack the rook, and again attack c7, where the knight will jump in. This is not a healthy king. I mean, what a game. What a beautiful game. I think this is actually a perfect game. I'm pretty sure I've looked at this exact line before. 16 moves deep. Not too bad. Not too shabby. So, rook g8 here. There would, of course, be check. And if you don't sack your queen, probably I'm just checkmating you somehow. Like here. Oh my, wait a second. Am I mating here? Okay, we're going to start with knight c7, obviously. Force the king to move. Unless they want to sacrifice their queen, the king moves. Now, tell me I don't have checkmate here, and I will laugh in your face and call you ignorant. I mean, sure, look at the state of this king. All I need to do is deliver a check. I should probably just take this though, let's be honest, and just not mess up this absolute masterpiece of a game. What do I do? I can of course take a rook and be up material, play bishop d3, castle kingside, probably f4, f5, and just win the game like that. I'm trying to work out if there's a more accurate move right now. Like, what if I went in here with my knight? Bishop takes, knight takes. The queen's hit. Because knight here, if they don't take, I'm threatening here, which is actually checkmate, and I'm threatening the queen. So knight here, bishop takes, knight... Whoa. Would I then play knight takes? Maybe I play... Knight here. Whoa. Guys, if knight here and bishop takes, pawn takes is checkmate. And if knight here and the bishop doesn't take, I'm threatening knight g5 checkmate. This could be the best game of chess I've ever played. I know I say that kind of a lot. I know I'm trying to be a chess YouTuber and I'm trying to put, best game ever in the title and thumbnail. Look at the board. If bishop takes here, I don't take with the knight. I take with the pawn, and that is checkmate. I mean, we'll probably see resignation here. I really hope we don't, because I'd love to be able to finish this game. The queen comes up, guys. That was a perfect game of chess. That was all prep. All prep. Check here. Knight here. Let's analyze. Okay, so here we are in the analysis. 97% accuracy. There was one inaccuracy. I'm sure you can guess what it was. It was playing the Mengarini in the first place. Now, this is book theory. This is prep. We do not consider this an inaccuracy. But apart from that, absolutely perfect. Here. Best again. Knight d. I mean, let's turn on the engine here. Knight fd4. Best move. There's multiple ways to win here, but I'm very familiar with this position. Here, takes, queen h5, g6, takes, rook g8, knight c7, king here, knight d6. And if they take like this, we take here. And if they move their queen, then it's checkmate. So all they could do there, the best move for some reason is bishop h6. I could take their queen. I mean, that's actually the best game of chess I've ever played. You see, our opponent plays 85% accuracy. They only made one blunder, and that blunder at the end was blundering mate in 1. The mistake they made was playing knight to f6 here, which is a completely forgivable mistake. If we open the database here and look at the... One sec, if I look at player database, by the way, I've had this position 14 times in rapid chess, apparently 15 times, and I've won 80% of the time. Look, all of these just wins here. Apparently the times that I've lost were a long time ago. So in recent history, I've just won all these games. And they make one mistake. And if we look at the Lee Chess database here, without a doubt, if we tab back, yeah, look, this is the second most popular move. Played 25,000 times by people with an average rating of over 2,000. And it's just a mistake. It's a game-losing mistake. E5 as well is not a good move because of the same reason. Like, play the Mengarini. Play the Mengarini. I'm telling you, do it. If somehow this video like blows up and then the Mengarini like becomes really mainstream and this line becomes really mainstream and I lose my weapon that gives me free wins all the time, I'm gonna be a bit annoyed, but also the ad revenue would probably make up for that. Thanks so much for watching. I'm very happy right now. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff that helps out the channel, and I will see you in the next one. If you guys can, just because I'm super proud of this game, you know, share this video with a friend. Try and give it a little boost. If you don't mind, I would really appreciate it. I'm back from holiday now, so I will be trying to get back to the daily upload schedule. It might take me, you know, a little bit to get back into it. It will at least be every other day, but I am working on a really big, high effort video at the moment, which should be up by like Friday, I think. So look forward to that. It's got some money involved. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.